Hello everyone and welcome to my video. I'm Dr. Mahdi today, and in this video I'll explain to you about a very common reaction in chemistry, especially organic chemistry, which is called arylation reaction. In these days I use this reaction a lot. It could be used for surface functionalization, and also it's a very powerful tool for nanoparticle functionalization. At the end of this video, if you like it, please push the like, press the subscribe button, and also it would be great and appreciated to share my video with your friends. Now let's get started. First, I would like to give you an introduction about arylation reaction. In chemistry, we have aryl compounds. Aryl compounds are made of a benzene ring connected to a functional group. Our functional groups could be, thiol, carboxylic acid, amine, or anything else. And also in chemistry, we have aniline compound. Aniline, it's made of a benzene ring connected to amine. But for doing a arylation reaction, we are looking for something like this, a benzene ring connected to amine and also functional group. Please note, it's very important for doing a arylation reaction. Functional group, R and amine should be exactly opposite of each other. If here it's carbon number 1 and amine is connected to carbon number 1, your functional group should be connected to carbon number 4. Not, for example, carbon number 3 or 2 or 5. It's very important for your functional group, and also amine should be exactly opposite of each other. Here you can see general schematic of arylation reaction, and after arylation reaction you can have your desired functional group on the surface of nanoparticle. And also please note, arylation reaction it could be used for functionalization of surface, for surface functionalization, not only for functionalization of nanoparticles. For doing arylation reaction, we need amyl nitrite. Here you can see the structure of amyl nitrite. There are many names for this compound. It's also called N-pentyl nitrite or nitramyl, but in most of the literatures they call it amyl nitrite. Temperature for doing this reaction is 80 degrees, and also please note, it's important, this reaction should be done under reflux condition. Time for doing this reaction is 25 hours, and after finishing the reaction you need to do rinsing using combination of centrifuge and sonication. Please note, first you need to use centrifuge to remove your solution, and after that, depends on your functional group that you have on the surface of your nanoparticle, you need to employ different polar and non-polar solvents for washing. And when you use centrifuge to remove the solution, in this case you need to add this solvent, and after that you need to do sonication to disperse nanoparticle inside of new solvent, and after that again centrifuge, removing the upper phase or supernatant, and again new solvent. Sometimes you need to wash it 20 times. You need to make sure there is no impurity. Okay, now for example, we would like to use arylation reaction to have thiol terminated nanoparticles. In this case, if you would like to use arylation reaction to have thiol terminated nanoparticle, we need to use aminobenzene thiol. And after arylation reaction, we will have thiol on the surface. But please note, for thiol, it's a little bit different. And after arylation reaction, we cannot have thiol terminated particle. Why? Because during arylation reaction, thiol doesn't survive. We cannot have thiol on the surface. Then what should we do? If you would like to have thiol terminated nanoparticle, you need to use aminobenzene sulfonic acid. And after arylation reaction, you will have sulfonic acid on the surface. And after that, you need to do reduction. For doing reduction, you can use sodium dithionite, or you can use mixture of triphenyl phosphine and iode. One of them, it doesn't matter. And after reduction, you will have thiol on the surface. You will have thiol terminated nanoparticle. Now you have thiol on the surface. In next step, you want to have your desired compound on the surface of uh, nanoparticle. In this case, you can use chemistry reaction. What is chemistry reaction? I have already published some videos about chemistry reaction. You can also find the link for some of them at the end of this video. With chemistry is a very nice candidate for surface functionalization and also functionalization of nanoparticles because you can have very robust bonds. For example, here you have thiol on the surface and you have your desired compound attached to molamide. After that, you can use thiol and nickel addition. It's a type of chemical reaction. And at the end, you will have your desired compound on the surface of nanoparticle. Or no, again, you can use another type of chemical reaction. This type of chemical reaction is called thioline. It's a reaction between thiol, that you have it on the surface of your nanoparticle, and alkyne, which is connected to your desired compound. And after that, you will have, after thioline reaction, you will have your desired compound on the surface of nanoparticle. Also, there is another type of thioline. In this type of thioline, we use cycloalkyne. What's the difference between this thioline and this thioline? When we have linear alkyne for doing chemical reaction, we need to use a photoinitiator and also UV irradiation. But when we replace linear alkyne with cycloalkyne, in this case, we don't need to use UV irradiation and also we don't need to use photoinitiator. Okay, sometimes we would like to have carboxylic terminated nanoparticle. In this case, we need to use aminobenzoic acid, and after arylation reaction, again, temperature is 80 degrees, 25 hours, and also washing, many times washing, we will have carboxylic terminated nanoparticle. And after that, when we have carboxylic acid on the surface, we can do many reactions. For example, one of them is esterification reaction. Esterification reaction, it's a reaction between carboxylic acid group, which is available on the surface of your nanoparticle, and also hydroxyl, which is available in your desired compounds. And after esterification reaction, you will have your desired compound on the surface of nanoparticle. And also, when you have carboxylic acid on the surface of your nanoparticle or your surface, you can use amidation reaction. Amidation reaction, it's a reaction between carboxylic acid group and amine, and after that, you can have your desired compound on the surface of nanoparticle. You can also use arylation reaction to make alkyne terminated nanoparticles. In this case, you need to use ethynyl aniline. And after arylation reaction, you will have alkyne on the surface of your nanoparticle. You will have alkyne terminated nanoparticle. When you have alkyne on the surface, again, you can use chemical reaction. Which type of chemical reaction? CuAAC, copper alkyne azide cycloaddition. And after chemical reaction, CuAAC, it's a reaction between alkyne, which is available on the surface of your nanoparticle, and also azide, which is connected to your desired compound. And after chemical reaction, you will have your compound on the surface of nanoparticle. And also, when you have alkyne on the surface, you can use thioline. In previous slides, I explained to you about thioline, and I don't explain anymore. Hope you found this video useful. If you have any comment or question, you can write it below in comment section. If you like it, please push the like. You can also hit the bell. In this case, you will get notification whenever I publish a new video. And please don't forget that life is short and enjoy it. Thank you so much and bye.